Hi friends, welcome back. Today we're testing some lenses from Fujifilm because I own the 16 2.8, 23 f2, 35 f2, but I've also now rented two other lenses in this lineup. So we have the 50 f2 as well as the 90 f2. Now, all of these are the f2 or f2.8 variants of these lenses. There's not an equivalent of kind of a wider aperture for the 90 millimeter, but all of these are in that lineup, or what a lot of people refer to as Fujicron lenses. And I really, really like these lenses. This is one of the main reasons why I went with the Fuji system in the first place. It's just for how small and compact these are. I've invested in 3 of these lenses. I've now rented 2 more. I have a couple of gigs coming up that I want to test these with. Dog's coming to visit. Chippy Chip. What are you doing? Apparently not. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to start off with the 50 millimeter f2, and there are a couple of other 50-ish millimeter lenses from Fuji. They have the 50 millimeter 1.0 as well as the 56 millimeter 1.2, and there's 2 editions of that. But this is one that's definitely the most affordable lens in that lineup. So I want to see, is this good enough? And as one reminder to all of this is that the Fuji system is an APS-C crop sensor system. So I'm going to let you do all of the math on what these are in terms of their full frame equivalents. I'm going to be referring to them as what they actually are. So this is a 50 millimeter because that's what it says on the side of the lens. It obviously is equivalent to more of about a 75 millimeter on full frame. You can do the math on all of the others and kind of know where they sit within that context. So that's going to be it. We're going to go and test this. I'll come back and give my final thoughts once I've been able to test both the 50 millimeter and the 90 millimeter. I'm definitely excited about this. Now, one of the gigs that I have coming up is an elopement, and I'm really excited to use this for some of the portraits in that, get some of that compression and shallow depth of field for some of those portraits, as well as the 50 millimeter. I think that should be good for that as well. But being able to test these in this full lineup and see if they are good enough to maybe invest in them full time as part of my lineup. This was definitely not a scientific test by any means. This was more of a how do these lenses work out in the real world, at least in my scenarios. So let me know what you think are these lenses that you're going to add to your kit, because I can tell you that from what I've seen, both of these lenses are lenses that I would feel comfortable adding to my shopping cart and hitting checkout, because the handling and image quality of both of them definitely met my expectations. Super sharp, super responsive. If I were to nitpick just a little bit, I would say maybe the 90mm was a little slow to focus at times. It never caused me to miss a shot entirely, but when I was shooting, particularly the elopement on continuous shot, I knew that when I got back, there were some times where when I was culling images and maybe making some of those selections and edits, that I had fewer options. So again, I never missed an actual shot. I just had fewer options to choose from in that final set. But there were also scenarios where you can definitely see the additional reach of that 90 over the 50. There were some scenarios, particularly at the zoo, where I intentionally took the same-ish photo with both lenses. And on the lion and the monkey, you can see the reach that you're getting there. So if that's something that in a zoo scenario, wildlife, not that you're doing a ton of wildlife with this lens, but if there's a photo or a scenario that you want that's maybe a little bit more at a distance, you know you're going to need the telephoto of a 90mm or about a 135 equivalent. And if you're in a tighter space, you know you're going to probably need to go in the other direction. The 50 may not even be wide enough. You need to go to some of the other Fujicron f2 lenses. And that brings me to kind of the whole package. I continue to be impressed with these Fujicron f2 lenses. They continue to perform well. They continue to be sharp. And while they may not be the widest aperture lenses in terms of what even Fuji offers and some other third parties, they are definitely doing what I expect them to do, and they're more affordable than their counterparts. And so that makes them a much easier recommendation. I know that I'm going to have a link to all of them down in the description below. These are going to be affiliate links, but they don't cost you anything extra. They just help me out a little bit on the back end. And then this has also gotten me thinking about other lenses. I know that there are third parties that have lenses in these similar or at least close enough focal lengths that I want to check out. So if you have any in mind, let me know down in the comments, and I'll see what I can do about getting those in-house, maybe renting those as well and doing some tests. But for now, those are going to be my thoughts on both the Fuji 50mm and 90mm and how that rounds out the Fujicron f2 lenses. They are a good set of lenses that I have no problems recommending across the board. I'll link to some of the other videos that I've done utilizing the 16, 23, and 35. I've done a couple of videos on those, so make sure and check those out if you have more questions or thoughts on those lenses in particular compared to the 50 and 90 that we touched on here in this video. But friends, until next time, I'm going to go make stuff, and I hope you do too.